Hi everybody. So in this episode, we're going to talk about debugging experience, right? Like, let's say you build your agents, they worked out, and you're happy with them, and for any given reason, something went wrong, right? So let's come, for instance, for this example, and when we come here, we saw that when we traced it, that some of the nodes got failed here. So when you click on it, there is an option called Fix with Oya Engineer. What it will do, it will basically take you to the IDE tab. Here you have what's called Oya Engineer, and you have levels to choose from. It can be a junior, mid, and staff. Obviously, the cost is different. So for minor things, typos, or I would use the junior. If there is something for debugging, I would use the mid. But for something too advanced, I would use the staff. The Oya Engineer has access to all the history, all the code base, all the agent structure. So you can see here, it went and list all the runs, got the agent details, list the skills. It knew that there is something wrong, and you can always see what was changed before and after. So you can see here now it's doing the diffs for that and doing all the changes. Now it also modifies scripts and does everything in your behalf. It also doing some cleanup here, is showing you the changes, and it will run its own checks to make sure that all these changes are production ready and safe. Meanwhile, the IDE is a full IDE that has access to everything. And we're gonna dedicate an episode just about to talk about the skills. But one of the let me move this one here. The concept of skills in Oya, it's basically what drives the determinism that we promise our customer with. So for instance, this one is an example of the actual skill that was built specifically for this agent. Each skill has is a combination between three properties. The script.py file, which is an actual Python script that runs in your environment. As you can see, it's just code. And also the skill.md. This file is responsible of defining what the skill has. What are the parameters, inputs, outputs, what libraries that this skill requires to be installed, what parameters needs to be passed in order to, achieve the mission, etc. And finally, the tool schema. The tool schema is what basically teaches the LLM how to interact with this skill. And this is basically when the LLM knows that it has a skill that does action Y or X, and then once it calls it, it will execute this Python script on a remote desktop. Oh, sorry, on a serverless remote sandbox. And now, as you can see here, the agent is fixing things in your behalf, is running this one here, is updating even the prompt needed, so you don't have to learn how to prompt anymore. You don't need to even modify the skills. Oya Engineer will do all that for you. Finally, within the IDE, you get access to all the runs, right? So you can see all the calls against this agent. Then you can click on view trace. The view trace will show you the DAG, which was executed in that given in a given run, and you can see exactly what happened there. Now going back to the engineer, um, as you can see here, it finished. That was the prompt executed, and it finished the job. So this is how you work with Oya Engineer, and this is how you work with the IDE. Another entry point, if you have any, you can go directly to the IDE without necessarily going to a trace. You can click here, and that will open the IDE associated with your engine. So this is how Oya Engineers works, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you.